everybody. Welcome back to Heart Interviews with CI Heartland. Today I have Mr. Bob Klages from Community Property Management. Hi, Bob.
Hi.
How you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful.
Good. Thanks for agreeing to be interviewed. Oh, I'm sorry, what?
Full of anticipation.
Everyone's nervous about these interviews. It's just supposed to be fun, kind of an engaging way to kind of get to know members a little bit better. So thanks for saying yes.
Thank you for editing.
Of course. Ashley does all that for us. So yeah, Ashley will take care of all that. So let's get started. So I think I know the answer, but can you tell for those people that might not know, how long have you been involved with the chapter in CEI?
So I've been involved with the chapter probably since about 2003 or so, something like that.
Awesome. So was there somebody or something that encouraged you to join or to get more involved?
That was when, I started getting a little bit involved with CEOMC in its very early days of CAI CEOMC, and got involved with that a little bit, and then decided that I needed to get my CMCA, and then I met Judy Rosen and got prompted into going further with AMS and getting my PCAM, and the rest is history.
Judy has a way of pulling people in, doesn't she? She's going to be somebody I want to interview too. So yeah, I like that. I like that.
Good.
So I know it's been a really rough year for everybody, but what has been the most challenging thing that you faced this year in the industry?
I think that from my perspective, that the most difficult thing was being able to share information amongst our staff. I thought that our learning from each other was off and was impeded by the fact that we were all working from home, and it was easier when you're at the office to get up from your desk and walk to someone else's and ask them a question. Mm-hmm. And then it was to do it by telephone or text message or whatever. I think the other thing that kind of impeded it as well was that when people would get up from their desk and vent with someone else within the office, sometimes we'll learn through that vent that they really are not following a protocol, or they could handle it a little bit differently, or give them some tools so that they know how to handle it maybe better in the future.
That's really good. That's good. That's definitely a good takeaway from all of it. So communication's key, right? Communicating.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And the being separate, just that distance, it could have been, well, I guess in many cases it was many miles that everybody was apart. But then sometimes it probably felt like time zone differences, that everybody was kind of working in their own little world, and they thought they knew what was the best way to do it, but sometimes there was probably a better way. Had they been in their cubicle, they might have been able to find a better solution.
Yeah, that's great. That's good. Do you have a favorite CI Heartland event that you like every year?
Favorite event? I like the holiday party. I think that's always nice. Gives a chance to meet people and or really renew relationships, or just continue them, and not a lot of business type stuff going on. So it's more of as it's meant to be, more of a social event.
Yes. On that note, I believe it was a couple years ago that you coined the phrase fierce friends. You want to tell us a little bit about that for those members that might not have been there that night to hear your speech about fierce friends and CEI fierce friends?
Yeah, that was a special night, in that I was, I think I'm trying to remember if it was when I received Manager of the Year.
It was, yeah,
it was?
yes,
Okay.
uh-huh.
I couldn't remember. I've given 2 speeches. And,
we love your speeches, Bob.
and anyway, well, that one was because, the thought process behind that was that in many times I've been maybe down, maybe not down and out, but certainly down, and had a lot of my CAI friends tell me that and encourage me to get back on my feet and continue doing what I was doing, and I coined them as my fierce friends because even when I was maybe a little bit more able to take no for an answer, they weren't, and I thought they stuck up for me more for me than I was probably even sticking up for myself at that time.
I love that. So now, would that be your favorite CI Heartland memory? Maybe? No? I know it's definitely one of the top 5 for me because I remember that really well. And I think a lot of people remember that and love that phrase. So you moved people that night.
It probably is my favorite memory, and because it reminds me of my CAI friends. It reminds me of my CPM friends and people that followed my lead when maybe they thought, my God, this is a crazy direction. And whether, I guess, maybe it was with the chapter or whether it was here internally at CPM, that it's been positive. It created some positive memories.
Absolutely. I love that. So when you're dealing with a new board and maybe you're introducing them to CEI, what would you say to a new board? Like how would you describe CEI and how would you encourage them to get involved and maybe join?
I basically will share with boards that they don't know what they don't know. And one of the ways to learn what you don't know is through CAI. And you don't always know how that's going to come to you, whether it's going to be in a presentation or it's going to be something that you can, that the person sitting next to you can share with you, or just the fact that you got the opportunity to meet somebody, and next time you need to get roof repairs, you already have a beginning of a relationship that you've built a little bit of trust on, and it helps you feel more confident, and it helps the board feel more confident that they're getting a straight story, and they're getting someone that understands their animal, so to speak, the condo, villa, townhome, HOA, whatever it might be. They will have a better understanding of it than someone that you might just contact with the Yellow Pages or find on Google or something.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. You're not alone out there. There's other people that are have the same kind of issues as you do, right?
Right. Well, we've all walked that path. And even though, we had a training program today with one of our CAI insurance partners, and we've all been, Jane and I have been in the business for a long time, and we met after that particular program, and she was like, that was I managed to pull a couple things from this program that were new to me. So you just never know you just never know what you don't know until you know it.
Absolutely. That's great. Love that. Do you have a crazy story about something that's happened in the industry that you're willing to share or that you can share, I guess I should say?
The one crazy thing that kind of just comes to my mind is I managed a condominium communities many years ago. And it was at the time that there was a lot of masonite damages, and there was, so they were going through the masonite claims process, and they were going to reside their building based on some of those monies. And they did this great big presentation at their annual meeting. In the annual meeting, one of the board members that had spent a lot of time on this particular project stood before everybody and said, okay, well, here's how we're going to get the money to pay for this siding. We have X amount of dollars from masonite. We have X amount of dollars in reserves. And we are putting a certain amount of money or pulling certain money out of the budget for siding and painting and some building repairs so that we can afford to do this without having to go to owners and special assess for 100%. And because we're going to do it this way, everybody's going to need to be a lot more patient with their with things getting done. And everybody was like, oh my gosh, this is great. Our condo fees aren't going up. This is just wonderful. And everybody put their hand in the air and said, I'm in. And then they voted it and they passed the budget and they went on with the rest of the meeting. And as people were leaving, people would stop me and say, now, Bob, don't forget, I need that sidewalk fixed. Bob, don't forget my mailbox is leaning to the left. And so many people came to me with these projects that they just were told that they're not going to get to because they're residing the buildings. And I was like, what meeting did you just sit through? I just sat here and I listened to them tell you point blank, you're not going to get stuff done when you want it to get done because we're doing the siding project. So anyway, it's not like, it's the crazy side of the business is that I don't want my fees to go up, but I still want all my things done. But it's not outlandish. It was no one streaking through or skinny dipping in the pool. I will leave that one for somebody else.
Sounds good. So that's a great segue to the next one. So is there something about yourself that maybe our members might be surprised to know? Do you have anything to tell us that maybe something different we haven't heard before?
Well, I don't know. I mean, some people know that I used to be a chef before I got into this business, but not everybody knows that. But,
that's a good one.
But everybody knows by my waistline I like food. So
me too. We share that in common. Maybe people don't know that you're also a fantastic, you do the ice sculpture for the trade show every year. That's like amazing. I don't know if everybody knows that. So
we do. I do that once a year, and it's. I'm glad that mostly laymen are looking at it.
I think it's great. It's amazing. It's amazing every year. You always do something different too. So. and I guess the only other thing I can think of is kind of unique is I have a little bit of a mini type farm and have animals and chickens and a couple of goats and some 2 donkeys and a dog or 2 dogs. And all kinds of good stuff, right?
I love it.
Good. So now comes the time where we do rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
Oh, wow, we got through that kind of fast. Good. It seemed like it was longer when Jennifer did it.
No, well, we've got more to go. We've got other stuff.
All right. Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, go.
All right, let me see. All right. Do you have a favorite St. Louis restaurant that you like?
Wow.
As a past chef.
Yeah.
It's good.
I mean, I used to really like to go to Giovanni's, but I haven't been there for a long time. We went to Brio's a couple last week and really enjoyed the lunch there. I had a flatbread pizza and their wedge salad. I thought it was phenomenal. So,
yeah, that's one of my favorites. Yeah, I really like Brio a lot too.
It was really, really quite good. And we had some barbecue today from 3 Bays Barbecue.
Never heard of that
And
one.
I thought the smoked turkey was excellent. So I don't really have, for 90% of the time, I cook at home. Terry's gotten kind of spoiled by that, and I can cook a good steak and I can cook some other things, and 90% of the time when I eat out, I'm kind of disappointed.
Yeah, well, probably because you're such a a good chef. That's probably why.
Well,
So
because I like to cook. I mean, I like to cook, and then I do get a little bit happier when I get to walk away from the dirty dishes.
So now,
So,
since you cook, does Terry clean up then?
yep.
Yeah, I like that.
It's kind of the thing. Although I like to think I help a little bit with
I'm sure you
mess,
do.
but she's more fine tuning of cleaning than I am. I'm more big picture cleaning. It's like, so,
I love it. That's good. That's good. Okay. If you could choose to do anything for a day, what would it be?
work in the pasture at my home.
That's a good one. That's a good
Work
one.
in the yard.
What's your favorite game or sport to watch or play?
I like to hunt, and so that would probably be one that I like to do myself. And I probably like to watch hockey more than I like to watch baseball.
I like hockey too. Yeah, go Blues, right?
Yeah, gone Blues.
Yeah. I know, but
Till
still.
next year, anyway.
Yeah, there you go. Would you rather ride a bike, ride a horse, or drive a car?
I like riding horses. I had a horse for a while, but that even gets a little bit boring. I like riding my bike as well, although I haven't rode it for quite some time. Driving a car, man.
Yeah, that's me too.
Point A to
That's me
point
too.
B.
Do you have a favorite PMDP class that you've taken? I know you've taken them all, but do you have a favorite one?
No. No.
None of them. None of them.
Not even one. I'm
That's
sorry. I wish I could promote that, but I think it has changed a fair amount since when I took them, 15 years ago.
Yeah, I'm sure it has. Yeah. I always kind of like the communication one was the one that I always liked the best. The risk management one was the one I didn't like when I would sit in.
Yeah,
that one's
risk
kind of
management
brutal.
Kind of ate my lunch, but I got through it.
Yeah.
Getting the PCAM is truly one of the most deep, arduous kind of projects I've ever gone through, and I worked harder on that than I worked on anything I ever did in college or high school.
What an accomplishment, though. You're one of the few ones that we have in our chapter. We don't have many, so just a couple of you guys. So it takes a lot.
It's a big task.
It is. If you could only eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Chicken and dumplings.
Ooh, I make good chicken and dumplings. I'll have to make you some sometime. Yeah, I do.
Too.
I have an old recipe from my grandma. So how do
Are yours a fluffy dumpling or a heavy dumpling or a noodle type?
They're rolled out dumplings.
Okay.
So yeah, so I guess probably heavier, I guess I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like them about as dense as you can make.
I'll have to make you some sometime. I only make them probably maybe 2-3 times a year, and it's usually when it gets colder. So I will bring you some one day. I'll have to remember that.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah. Have you ever had a nickname? And if so, what is it?
It's pretty simple. It was Bobby.
Okay.
So when I was a little boy, I was Bobby, and then I think I got about 13 years old, and I was a little bit over that, and I made my mom call me Robert for a while, even when she wasn't mad at me. and then I relaxed in high school, probably to Bob, so I've been Bob ever since. I don't think that only the latest nickname I've picked up is Papa from Terry's granddaughter. So.
I like that. That's the best one ever, right? I don't know yet, but I'm hoping to be a grandparent someday. So
Papa Bob, when I hear that, it's pretty supercharged.
Oh my gosh, yeah, melts your heart for sure.
Yeah.
So do you have any pet peeves?
Well, is not liking stupid a pet peeve? I don't know.
That's a good one. Yeah, I like that one.
I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know exactly what I would say is my greatest pet peeve. I don't like people saying honestly. That would probably be one when they use that in their language. And honestly, I'm telling you, I kind of expect everybody to be honest with you.
Yeah, just be honest. You don't have to say it. Yeah,
Right.
That's a good one.
Exactly.
I like that one. Good. Okay, so now do you have any advice you would give to a new member? Like that's just coming on, like maybe like a new manager or business partner that just joined CEI, what advice would you give them?
I think that the best advice is that if you think that this could help you build your knowledge, build your background, build your business, that you have to invest in it. And you can't expect it to reward you immediately.
That's good.
This is not a millennial relationship.
That yes, I actually tell new, especially new business partners, it takes about 18 months to 2 years sometimes, and they have to show up. You know, part of it's showing up. So
well, showing up, following through, understanding the business, and those are just kind of all things that you don't learn in the first 2 weeks of your involvement, and it's probably been even more difficult here in the past year just because of our remote nature. But so newer members. But I think if you look at the CAI directory, the businesses that we all know about have all invested their time in building a relationship with their managers, understanding the business. Even the managers that have gone on to get their CMCAs and AMSs and PCAMs have invested their time and effort into broadening their scope. The next step that we need to take really is getting people in the industry or that utilize our services to recognize what we've gone through, and that this may not be a business, this may not be rocket science, but there is a specialty that goes with it, and being a jack of all trades is part of what we do and part of what they can't do. And as I meet with boards sometimes, it's hard for them to understand, but I think that when we're at the table, when it comes to our industry, we're the smartest guy or gal in the room when it comes to our industry. And we need people to accept that, and utilize that and utilize it to their advantage versus just thinking that this isn't rocket science. I can go out and get 3 bids. What's the big deal? There's really way more to it than just that.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. It's definitely a specialty. I mean, that's the best way I can describe it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Not all community managers are the same, right? Yeah.
Well, that's true too.
Yeah.
And no circumstance is completely the same. And I think that sometimes our boards feel like that, again, because they don't see enough of the fine elements of what we do, that it's hard for them to realize that we do things a certain way because we've done it all the wrong ways already. Mm-hmm. And we have built certain processes because it's efficient, it's effective, it's all of the things that they need to just trust that we're bringing to them our knowledge, and they don't have to learn the hard way to do things. Who goes to their attorneys and asks for an opinion and says, I don't think I'm going to go that route. Thanks a lot. You know?
True.
We probably don't charge enough. That may be where our problem lies. You know, if you're charging $250 an hour, maybe your opinion is more taken than in our industry. You can't quite get that.
That's true. Do you happen
I like that idea. I think I'm onto something.
There you go. I like it too. Do you have a piece of paper and a pen handy by any chance, since you're at your desk?
Yes.
Do you know what I'm going to ask?
No.
I'm randomly asking people. I don't ask everybody, but could you draw us your
I saw the
let me think. What about your favorite thing to hunt? How's that? Can you draw us your favorite thing to hunt? Are you an artist, Bob? I'm not, so.
I mean, the hard part is, you know, oddly enough, I can do like the, you know, the ice carvings and things of that nature.
Yeah.
But I rarely, even in my days of drawing, I was a lot better at doing the ice carvings than I was in drawing it.
I could never do the ice carvings. I don't know how you do it. I'm a horrible artist. So, but you knew I was going to ask you because you do the ice carvings every year. You know, I had to ask you to draw something.
I was kind of hoping that I distracted you when you were onto something else. Sure.
Oh, hey, perfect. Okay, deer, right? Deer?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Did you catch one in the last year? Did you get one?
Actually, I did. I got a doe.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
Not for the future.
So now comes the end of our interview, and I give everybody a 30-second plug to. You can either plug CPM, you can plug your favorite charity, anything you want to tell the members about for 30 seconds. Well,
I would encourage people to be part of CAI because I think that it benefits all of us in the industry. And I think that the more people out there talking about what CAI provides makes us all of us that are in CAI more recognized and more respected. And I think that the more we talk about it and the more we talk about the different things that we do within it, the more people may grasp that it is not rocket science, but it is a specialty. I'd also always encourage the companies out there, whether it be management companies or whomever, is to work to be the best in what they do. And I think that's, if there's anything that I think that we've done here, is that everything that we do is with the ideal that it's making us better. And now whether we are the best is for our clients to decide, but what we want to do is always be looking to make ourselves better. And I think that if we do that in our relationship with CAI, we do that with our relationship with our business partners, if we do that with our personal relationships, that if we're working to be better, then we are probably always presenting our best self at that particular time. And even though that best self may have room for improvement, it is our best self at that particular time.
I love that. I love that advice.
Oh, there you go. Got another speech.
We love your speeches, Bob. We love them. We love them.
I didn't even write that one, so I don't even have a writer that I have to give credit to.
Well, thank you for taking the time to do this today. We really appreciate it. And we hope to see everybody next time on Heart to Heart Interviews with CAI Heartland. Thanks, Bob.
You're welcome.
Thanks, everybody.